Hey, it's time for another 1 minute story review, and today we're going to be looking at Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation 1. The first of the Final Fantasy games to make the jump over to 3D. To say this one's a fan favorite is an understatement. The game starts off with a bang as you're dropped right into the attack on Mako Reactor 1. You play as Cloud, an ex-soldier who's been hired by the eco-terrorist group known as Avalanche, as well as Barrett, one of the members of that group. Your goal at the start and pretty much through the entire game is to disrupt the actions of Shinra, a mega corporation that's been draining the Earth of its lifeblood for money. They do this through their Mako reactors, which converts the planet's life force into energy. And as you explore the world throughout the game, you realize that these things are everywhere. There's barely a settlement that doesn't have one. Having one of these reactors basically means Shinra can do anything in your town. Of course, not everyone agrees on this, and you find a lot of allies through this shared enemy. And your party's an extension of this, from Yuffie, who saw her homeland ravaged by war, from Sid, who had his dreams ripped out of his hands, from Red 13, who was experimented on. And then there's Cloud, who's actually kind of an interesting foil to this. See, at the start, Cloud doesn't care who he fights, he just wants money, but then he finds out that Sephiroth is still alive and involved in some kind of plot. An ex-soldier, like Cloud, Sephiroth is extremely powerful and wants to find the Promised Land, which turns out to be a bad thing for everyone alive. And because of Cloud's obsession, the party changes goals. So you chase after Sephiroth, dealing with Shinra where you can, and this two-antagonist structure barely gives you a break. And I think that's one of the things 7 does the best. Even though you have all the time in the world, it feels urgent, constantly. And when the game does give you a moment to breathe, it's for a good reason. And we all know what I'm talking about. The echo of that materia falling down the stairs is still burned into my mind. And though Final Fantasy has handled the death of party members before, there are none that are more iconic and well-known than this one. It feels almost weird to recommend this one because of how iconic it is, but of course I do. If you're getting into the older Final Fantasies for the first time, there's a reason that this one is a piece of pop culture history.